Chat Blanc and Ephemeral are the worst things to come out of this show. You might wanna ratio me for saying this, but I'm saying it with my full chest. These kind of episodes, especially Ephemeral, ruin the show for good while not affecting the plot at all. Okay, let me rephrase this to sound nice. The worst thing to ever come out of this show is the opportunity to see everything your child self wanted to happen in a single episode with the most horrendous gut-wrenching execution and most terrible pacing you've ever seen. And the cherry on top, have it leave zero consequences on the overall plot because everything is reset afterwards. They give you an episode that could end the whole damn show in 20 minutes, but since they have to make 20 more seasons, they need to keep milking the same shit over and over. And after a while, you stop caring about these crazy plot lines that could lead to something interesting. It becomes predictable and it makes you not want to see those things happen on screen. Because the moral of those episodes is, this is what's going to happen if X thing happens, so we just can't let that happen. But when you look at the factors that led to the destruction in those episodes, you realize that the writers are gaslighting you. That's the gist of the episodes we'll take a look at today. Chat Blanc and Ephemeral. Does Oblivio count? I'll talk about anyway because it fits most of the criteria to be a what-if scenario. Even though there is proof of it happening and the timeline wasn't reset or deleted or anything. I think the two episodes that tore the fandom apart. Long-time fans want to love these episodes because ooh reveal, ooh love square canon, ooh fanfics. The problem with these episodes is that they are strictly 100% fanservice. Let me explain. Kids are the primary target audience of this show, and the ones it attracted back in the day are now grown. I fall into this category. Now the kids that currently watch this in the year of 2023 either aren't going to keep up with all the new episodes and the intricate plot lines that go nowhere. The writers are well aware what the slow burn is going to do. The more they drag the show out, the more people will lose interest in it, especially kids with the attention span of 1 minute per episode. Because of this, they know they need to make something to satisfy the kids who aren't going to keep tuning in, so they can experience their shit being canon. And with the addition of fast pacing and confusing time travel in those episodes, leaving them satisfied without understanding what actually happened. They come out of it thinking, yay, they revealed themselves. I think, kids aside, they just wanted to animate a terribly written fanfiction made by said kids. It took me 3 years to understand the time travel in Chat Blanc. Like, I had to watch it over 50 times to keep up with the pace. Skill issue. But at the end I got the slightest bit of enjoyment out of it. Oh scary spooky mentally ill chat noir, he's white now. With Ephemeral I was just rolling my eyes the whole time. Akumatized Adrian in that episode didn't even have a good design, he looked like shit. I've never been so mad watching an MLB episode before. So let's look at Chat Blanc first. Undoubtedly the better episode out of this match made in hell ass duo. Which doesn't say much because they both suck ass. What makes this ever so slightly more tolerable is the fact that it had at least one consequence. I know it's the bare minimum unless we're talking episodic season 1 shit or pure filler that resets everything in the end. But this isn't a season 1 episode or meant to be filler from what I know. But it failed miserably at not passing off as filler. The only consequence is trauma for the main character that is briefly mentioned 3 times in the whole show after it happened. Once in Sentibabla, once in the season 4 finale, and in Kuroniko when she thought he got akumatized. That's it. This is one of those things that got no development, as something that's supposed to be so scary is treated like it's nothing. Even in the season 5 finale this wasn't Marinette's nightmare. But it was Chat Noir's, even though he didn't know he was akumatized in another timeline. Like his nightmare was being akumatized and ending the world despite never hinting towards this ever before. We didn't even know this was his fear before this episode, and it kinda feels out of nowhere. Only Ladybug knew about Chat Blanc and she still neglected him in season 4, knowing what happens if he gets upset enough to get akumatized. Like Chat Noir, not getting akumatized should still be her top priority because it means the end of the world. That's the whole point of that episode, right? Chat Noir akumatized equals end of the world? Or is it Natalie equals the true villain? We shall see. The episode starts with Marinette being creepy with her creepy little gifts for Adrine's 5th name day. Her stupid ass friends enable her to do whatever it takes to confess today or something. She wants to leave the gift at Adrine's house without anyone seeing, so she breaks into his house. She sniffs his pillows and does creepy shit before remembering she's here to leave the gift and go. She signs the note with her name and hops out of there just in time for Adrian to see her. He wonders why Ladybug would leave a gift from Marinette and jumps to the conclusion that they are the same person. Adrian finds Marinette wearing her ugly gift and they kiss. Then they date, but Gabby doesn't want a poor flop dating his son, so he tells Marinette to break up with him or die. She breaks up with him. Gabby tries to akumatize her. Adrian transforms and cataclysms the akuma before it reaches her. Then he calls her M-Lady. Oh, reveal how cute. This had younger me gagged. Natalie does something so out of character that ruins her completely and makes zero sense for her to do. She saw Adrian transforming and told Gabby, "Is this the same woman from Passion? Or Evolution? Or any season 4 episode? You're telling me she'd stab Adrian in the back that easily?" You'd think the shock would be too overwhelming for her to speak in the first place, but she spilled it with no hesitation. Cool. And the episode goes downhill. They fight Gabby in the basement somehow. How did they end up there in the first place? Did they teleport with the horse miraculous? Don't think so. How did they get in there without seeing it's the Agrest mansion? That makes no sense. Why was Adrian so surprised to find out his father is the butterfly whore? Why else would his little self-pleasure room be in the Agrest mansion if he doesn't live there? Call the bug exterminator quick. Anyways, Gabby shows the corpse and beats that boy with a bat. Now they're outside and Gabby akumatizes his son and makes him choose between him and his girlfriend. Belos ex-hunter dupe. Meanwhile, Alex in the burrow tries to figure out how the hell this happened. Chat Blanc is alone and emo for months before Alex sends Ladybug from the past to the future to fight him or the universe will end. Everyone say thank you Master Fu. I'll come back to you cunt. So we get the Chat Blanc Ladybug fight and she purifies him. He still remembers her identity, so she tries to figure out how he found out in the first place. Unlike Adrian, who connected the dots, she reached so hard it's actually funny. Like, her theory of how it all happened is so painfully forced. It's so fucking obvious Adrian wouldn't reveal your identity. What the hell are you talking about? She erases her name from the note so Adrian doesn't think the gift Ladybug left is from Marinette. That beret is so ugly, Marinette should never design anything again. This beret is the real reason Gabby wanted her to break up with his son. Oh, burn it. At the end, Marinette goes back to her enabler friends and tells them she couldn't do it. After witnessing herself dead in an alternate timeline, she goes back there like nothing happened. After this episode, the trauma she supposedly gained from this is never mentioned or exploited for any drama. With the exception of like 2 episodes when it's briefly mentioned. No scene of her reflecting late at night. I wanted this shit to keep her awake and haunt her. Give us something. There's so much wasted fucking potential. What's even the point of this? At the end of Chat Blanc, she went back there and continued to neglect him and upset him next season, as if this can't easily happen in this timeline. What makes this episode bullshit? Marinette assumed Chat Noir got akumatized because he found out her identity. Because he called her by her real name when they were fighting. She assumed that finding out her identity is the core reason behind his akumatization, so she thought easing her name from the note she left to Adrian would erase this somehow. Because in her mind Adrian has something to do with this. If he's not Chat Noir himself, how the hell would Chat Noir know? Why would he go around telling people? You might bring up Marinette's point in derision about how she doesn't really know Adrian and all that, but it's so different from telling a superhero's identity. It's a whole different kind of trust and her logic makes no sense. What if erasing the note didn't stop Adrian from not believing Ladybug when she said that she left the gift on behalf of somebody else and recognized that the someone was Marinette from the handwriting? Do we think of another plan then? Do we manipulate time again? Also, this may just be me not understanding well, but why did Ladybug have to fight Chat Blanc first? Bunnix could have just given her a glimpse of him from the burrow where they're safe. Tell her, hey, this is Chat Noir akumarized, and send her to the past and come up with a stupid lie so she doesn't think Chat Noir is Adrian. The last part she does anyway, and I know I just complained about that lie not making sense, but she could have saved this 14-year-old from seeing herself dead, just saying. Also, the reveal is empty. When I was younger I ate that shit up simply because it was something different that we hadn't seen before. Where the hell is the build up? Oh, you know, the Marich hat stands eat this scene up to this day. Now the other thing that caused Chat Noir's akumatization in the first place. Natalie San fucking Kerr. Deep breath. Why the hell would she stab Adrian in the back like that after promising Emily she'd protect Adrian? This is Natalie at her worst. Actually fuck Centibug, this is the worst thing Natalie has done because we're talking about the end of the fucking world. Yes, she didn't know the end of the world would happen if she told Gabriel his son is chat noir, but she knows damn well what this man can do to reach his goals. She's experienced his delusions and his abuse tactics firsthand, so no shit he'd go that far. This felt like a fucking fever dream. I know Natalie wasn't redeemed or anything back in season 3, but even I knew back then watching this for the first time that this is so out of character for her. Maybe I'm misinterpreting her character here, but this doesn't sound like something she would do. Motherly Natalie ruining Adrian's life with a single sentence to his abuser? Make total sense. The last thing I'm going to rant about is time travel. I won't waste too much of my time or energy because we have another episode to talk about. So I'll let Odd Eye Circle say it for me.
No.
The suffering isn't over yet because we now have to talk about the chat Blanc equivalent of season 4. Oh no, they are multiplying. Before I watched this episode I was about to jump off a plane into a pool of boiling hot lava. Then I watched this episode and jumped off a plane into a pool of boiling hot lava. Because I'd rather die that terrible fate than have to watch this snoozerfest again. But because I love you guys I'll watch it again. Also, I had a hard time finding this episode to watch it. I think the universe just didn't want to put me through that torture. I feel second-hand embarrassment for the writers and anyone involved in the making of this atrocity. It starts off with Ladybug fighting this guy with all these flops because Chat Noir couldn't make it because his abusive father made him carry the weight of doing press for his father's ugly new collection dedicated to his dead mother. Then Master Shit tells Ladybug she needs to reveal her identity to Chat Noir and vice versa so they can have better communication. It's honestly so sad how she needs 20 superheroes to fill Chat Noir's spot, like are they that useless? She's fighting Bob Roth here, I don't think she needs that many. She refuses to do a reveal but then she's like, okay, what can go wrong? She gets Luca to make it so that she doesn't remember his identity when Adrian reveals himself and lies to Chat about wanting to know his identity. He reveals himself and she's in shock, so she doesn't tell Luca to rewind. 1 minute passes and there's no going back, so now Ladybug knows his identity. She spends the next few days trying to figure out what this means for Adrian because they're so different. She's in love with Adrian, not Chat Noir, so she's confused as to which is the real him, and yeah, that whole debate. I'll give it that. At least they brought this up instead of making Marinette fall for Chat Noir right away. Unlike in Chat Blanc, she starts seeing Chat Noir in Adrian and she's freaking out and talks to Luca. Noting that Marinette knows that Luca knows who Chat Noir is. Like she knows they are talking about the same person here. And this is after Wishmaker, so shouldn't she be a little wary of Luca since he has the snake miraculous? It should be common sense that she should suspect that he knows who she is since her identity could have been revealed, but she wouldn't know because he rewinds time. Anyways, these two fight a sentient Ladybug reveals herself. I fell asleep and oh now they're dating. This made me gag, I'm sorry. Like silly ho, you never looked at Marinette that way before, you're only like this now because she's Ladybug. That's superficial as hell, let's be real. So his love for Marinette here is superficial. Sure, he could have fallen for her Marinette side later on, but right now all he cares about is Ladybug. Let's not lie to ourselves. At least Marinette doubted her love for Adrian after seeing he's also Chat Noir, someone she's never looked at the way she looks at Adrian. One cringe ass night, Adrian is about to sleep with his bacteria filled jeans and his mud covered shoes on as he's talking to blue haired bitch on the phone and says he can't wait to see her at the movies tomorrow. Vote who you want me to call blue hair bitch from now on, Marinette or Luca? Anyways, Gabby decides to pass by his son's room just in time to hear him call her M-Lady. I don't think I have to rant about this because everyone else has. So I'll let the Odd Eye Circle girlies say it for me.
No.
Obviously this scene makes no fucking sense and it's objectively the worst piece of writing that has ever existed. It's shit like this that makes me remember who this show is for. God damn it. Imagine if he just heard Chat Noir call Ladybug M-Lady and he just picked it up. Like if he wasn't Chat Noir and Gabby did all this for nothing. That'd be so fucking funny. Somebody please write a fanfic like this, I need it. In the morning, Gabby serves his son a breakfast that consists of a look at his dead mommy in the casket. Okay, falling in reverse tease. Adrian negative emotions. Daddy akumatizes him. He can't resist because he's a sentimonster and daddy orders him to obey. Adrian pulls up at the movies with his Met Gala Transformers ass fit like he think he the main character or something. Honestly Kitty Gabby looks so much better than him. He ate here, I won't lie. Especially when he threw Marinette like a banana peel. I still haven't understood what the hell Adrian has doing and I'm not going to waste my time trying to understand. Wait, no, maybe it's more simple than I thought. She transformed and he took her time or something so she detransforms faster? Don't know, don't care. Marinette texts Luca to get Sass from the miracle box in her room and do something before the world ends. Sass explains what the wish actually does and why it shouldn't be used. So we finally have a clearer explanation. But not clear enough by S5 finale standards. I'll talk about this another day. Sass goes back in time before anyone reveals themselves and it's like this never happened. Something happens with time and space, please someone explain in baby language. Or don't because I don't care. So time is reset or something. I've proven to you 100 times that I'm a good guardian. Me when I'm delusional. You're literally everything but a good guardian, be so for real. The only good part of this episode is when Cat Noir sings his little meow meow tune. The rest can burn in a fire. Pacing is way too fast. 80% of it makes no sense. There's no logic behind anything that Marinette says and Suan is no better than Master Flop. Is it like a rule that every guardian should be bad? Is that why they are all incompetent? Leela said it best. It shouldn't be a child's duty to defeat cunts. The reveal in this episode is just as vomit-inducing as Chat Blanc. The only difference between these two episodes is that a different side character saves the day. Also that they bothered to acknowledge the whole who's the real Adrian debate. But that's literally the bare minimum and I can't believe I have to praise them for this. This was nothing but useless fan service. I feel dumber after watching this episode, like it sucked the life out of me. When we got close to a reveal in the Owl episode in season 2 I was sad. I still eat that shit up years later. It wasn't obnoxious or exhausting to talk about. Now, they milked it so much and it's happened so much with no payoff, nobody will be interested when it actually happens. We're promised a permanent reveal every season by the writers on Twitter. They've dragged this out so much, the last thing I care about is the reveal. No matter what they do now, the reveal will suck. Remember when Thomas said on Twitter that every season 4 episode will be like Chat Blanc? Imagine if every season 4 episode went like this. Something major happens and at the end of the episode time is reset and it never happened and nobody remembers. Like that'd be so funny. I think what Thomas meant by every episode will be like Chat Blanc is that every season 4 episode will be as bad as Chat Blanc. He was right. Season 4 was terrible, just like Chat Blanc. Every time the reveal happens there's something going on with time and they forget. Honorable mention. Oblivio. They forget who they are. They meet each other as Marinette and Adrian, then thanks to plot convenience they know what Kwamis are. Suddenly quantum masking doesn't exist and they think they're dating. So at the end the happy couple forgets they were a happy couple, but Alia has a picture of them kissing. Milk the reveal once again, but back then it wasn't enough for me to not care about a permanent reveal. If only I knew. We also have to mention Desperada. Desperflopda. Another confusing time episode that shouldn't exist. In this episode they tell you why Adrian can't be the snake miraculous holder. Because the script says Luca needs to do something else other than talk about music. At one point Adrian with the snake miraculous is running next to Ladybug and tells her he's Cat Noir. I rolled my eyes so hard y'all don't even know. Oh, he's so goofy. Ladybug didn't know if he was fucking around or not. Don't worry, he's just fucking around, boo. Anyways, forget about this episode, I just thought I'd bring it up because Adrian reveals himself for a second. And then he presses second chance and it didn't happen. That's how I'd sum up all the what if episodes. The episodes where the reveal happens ultimately suck because the writers are trying to manipulate us. Oh guys, look, they can't reveal themselves because Gabby will find out and reveal he's Hawkmoth and akumatize his son. That's literally not what's going to happen if they reveal themselves. In both instances he didn't get akumatized because they revealed themselves, but because something happened after the reveal. Natalie was the reason he got akumatized in Chat Blanc. If she never opened her mouth, Gabby would have no idea his son is Cat Noir and would have never akumatized him. She could have a moment of realization that she's on the wrong side and help Adrian get Gabby's miraculous and senti ring while he's sleeping and he's powerless. End him. Call the police and done. The show's over. Oh, that's why it didn't go that way. That's why they wrote Natalie like this here, right? Is there a reason she backstabbed Adrian that I'm not understanding? Gabby is a classist hoe who is a hypocrite and doesn't care about his son's happiness even though he was in the same position as Marinette once. But unlike her, Emily's parents didn't threaten to end him like he did to her. If Natalie opened her fucking eyes, none of this would have happened. She has more power than you think and she doesn't fucking use it. In Ephemeral, the writers decided that Adrian is a sentimonster, therefore he can't disobey his father. He was akumatized simply because his father heard him say "M-lady." Like Victorian motherfuckers back in the day called bitches "M-lady." You should have suspected your son of being a Victorian child, how about that? This is him reaching and nobody would jump to this conclusion. This scene is insufferable and makes me want to crush my skull into a brick wall. Adrian got akumatized because his father found out he's cat noir through a single word that literally anyone could say. And neglectful ass bitch just so happened to check on his son at the right moment. Plot convenience at its best. Euphoria has better writing than this. At least Chat Blanc has adult bunnocks and y'all already know how I feel about this fine ass bitch. Oh, she's mine. So extra point for Chat Blanc because she's in it. Other than that, it sucks. Bet it smelled like crack in that studio. No pens were on fire. If you guys like the what if episodes, tell me why in the comments. Maybe the what if scenarios aren't bullshit and it's just me. I hope at least the kids like it. You know, the people these were made for. Stream queencard.
You smacked me, you poppy!